Hey, what's up, guys? King Komet here. I just wanted to talk about some things I learned while being stationed in Korea with the Army. So, let's get right to it. Number 10, there are multiple ways to get to Seoul. So, I was stationed down in Camp Humphreys. And to get to Seoul, a lot of people thought that you could only take the train, KTX. But you have other options. For example, if you stop by a local corner store like CU, 7-Eleven, you can buy what is called a T-Money card. Put some Korean won on there, and when you get to the train station, you can actually take their version of I don't know what it'd be called, subway, light rail, and it's a lot cheaper. I think from Pyeongtaek to Seoul, it might be maybe 2,000 won, somewhere around there, maybe a little more, which is a little bit cheaper than paying a little over 4,000 for the train. Other than that, there's a bus station in Pyeongtaek. If you go just past the train station, there is a bus station. And the thing I like about the bus is that you can actually sleep. You get in, you can get a seat next to the window and just crash. Get to Seoul, you're already well rested, you're ready to go. Other than that, there is taxi. I've done it before. You can take a taxi all the way to Seoul or all the way from Seoul. So that is another option if you feel like you have the money to spend, you don't want to be bothered. Taxi is another way to get there. Okay, number 9. When staying in Seoul, I understand that some units, they want you to stay at a hotel. And okay, that's fine. But at least in my time, my unit really didn't check. So, if you have to put down the Hilton or Dragon Hill over at Yongsan or anything, okay, fine. But consider hostels. Hostels are usually for backpackers or travelers, I would guess, because you go there, it's a normal house, but in a bedroom, you'll have bunk beds. So like 2 or 3 bunk beds. Sometimes it's all guys with a room set for all girls, and sometimes it's mixed. But the thing is, it's really cheap. So there's some hostels that are about $15 a day, and some even cheaper than that, depending on what you want. Some have lockers, some do not. Some give you towels, some do not. So just really, look at the amenities, read the comments, and see what each one has to offer. But really consider that, because on a 4-day in Seoul, you could wind up spending, $60 to stay for the entire 4-day. Whereas if you get a hotel, you're spending that in one night, Okay, number 8. When I was in Korea, I wasn't able to use the Korean delivery apps like Yogyo and other ones because they required you had a Korean card or bank account. But I did find a way to use the McDonald's Korea delivery app. And I believe it allows you to sign in as a guest. I don't know if this is still the case. This is what I used when I was there. It sucks, I know, being in Korea eating McDonald's, but if you went out and you're drinking, you're tired, or maybe you just don't feel like going out, it's pretty awesome to have food delivered to you because at least at this time, they don't have DoorDash or Uber Eats. So it's good to be able to have some food delivered to you. Number 7, there are some places in Korea, especially if you go to Gangnam, Gangnam style, that are Korean only, or they may charge a higher price if you're a foreigner. Now, I don't want to get too much in on racism in Korea in this video, but just be aware of that. Don't try to start a fight if you get to somewhere and they're like, oh, no foreigners, whatever the case may be. There's plenty of good places to party. There are plenty of good places to go, but just be aware that there are some places that might not let you in. Okay, number 6. There's an application here called Kakao Taxi, and this application has saved my life so many times. So, how, you go out, you're drunk or you're partying and you want to get a taxi, but you have to go to the road, but everybody's at the road, they got their hand out, they're trying to flag down a taxi, and man, during curfew, that really sucked because at least at the time I was there, Yongsan was still conducting courtesy patrols. So you would have, soldiers like rolling like 12 to 20 deep, it seemed, walking up and down Itaewon. And here you are, it's 12:45, curfew's at 1 a.m. You don't stay at Yongsan, so now you got to at least get out of this area. So, okay, I'll catch a taxi. But everyone's trying to catch a taxi. Drunk people, guys and girls who just met and want to, take things a little farther for the night. Everyone is on the damn road trying to catch a taxi, and you're over here trying to not to get an Article 15. So There's an application called Kakao Taxi. What it is that you're able. It's kind of like Uber. You're able to set a start point, set an end point. It gives you the driver's picture, the plate number for the taxi, and I like that because of that fact. Another, I'm not against hopping in a taxi, but it's good when you have a little more information in case things go bad, or if you're a little drunk, you want to make sure you weren't robbed or anything. So consider Kakao Taxi, and that taxi will take you wherever you want because if the driver agrees, they agree. Like, I've taken the taxi from Seoul all the way to Pyeongtaek at Camp Humphreys before, and yeah, they'll do it. So just consider using that application if you want to get a taxi for sure, because if you're out partying and you want to get back, you can call the taxi while you're still enjoying your last beer. Or if you're eating before you go out, while you're finishing up, before you even pay your bill, you can call the taxi. Take your time, finish your food, pay your bill, and the taxi's right there. So it's really convenient, and it helps your night kind of like flow very well. Number 5, be aware that Korean condoms are smaller. Now, I'm not saying this is, in regards to race or anything like that, but they are legit smaller. So if you have a chance, even if you think you might possibly have sex, just go to the clinic, grab some condoms. My barracks had them, like, as soon as you walked in, they were in like kind of like a bowl or whatever. Always bring your own, or be prepared, because when you get out there and it's last minute, you met a beautiful girl, you're ready to go, and you're going to run a 7-Eleven, and you get these tiny ass Playboy condoms or some other damn thing. I'm telling you, man, it is insane. The first time you're like, damn, am I bigger? What's going on? And it's just, no, you want to make sure you have condoms that fit well, because you don't want it to break. Otherwise, you might get a girl pregnant, or you might catch an STD, and you don't want anything that's unfitting, because it might, get lost inside her, and you might get a girl pregnant, and you might catch an STD. So just really be aware of that. Number 4, you can actually sleep in PC rooms. So if you don't even have money for a hostel, or maybe you're really like, you're like me, you're a little PFC, you don't have much money, but you really want to live life and, have fun. A hostel, the PC room costs what? Maybe 1,000 won an hour, maybe 2,000. If you have a Korean number, someone will allow you to actually create an account, and you get kind of like a better deal that way. So if you have any Korean friends, or you can use Google Translate to figure out how to do it, but it's pretty good. That way, if you're out and say you need the place to crash from 12 to 5, you're only spending like $10, if that. It's not a bad deal. And I learned this because, I partied often. So going out every weekend, you start to see the same people. You're like, you know what? I'd rather just chill, game, watch YouTube. And then I would notice people would come in absolutely hammered around 3, 4, 5 a.m. And that's when I realized, oh, they're cool with this. So yeah, just keep that up your sleeve. And if you don't even have money for that, the cheapest way I've seen, for myself at least, when I partied, is to party all night. Party all night, and you don't have to pay for any. Obviously on your pass, you have to put something. Put something, but party all night and save your money, because what I would do is I would go and say start off in Hongdae, and then party over in Itaewon, or vice versa. Whichever, depending on what kind of vibe you like. There's all kind of bars and lounges with all kind of vibes. Find out what you like best, and then around, say, some places close around 3 or 4. Around 3 or 4, go to McDonald's, hang out. There's going to be a ton of drunk people. Eat your McDonald's, take your time, take the bus over to Seoul Station, and I think the first bus leaves around, I want to say 5 something, or maybe 6, and it will get you right back to base, and you paid nothing to, for lodging, because you were just chilling. So that's what I did, at least. Let's see here. Number 3. Explore while you can. Seoul's great. I get it. Great nightlife. They have all kinds of palaces. The river is beautiful. But, try to see other places, or at least other places in Seoul. Don't just go to Hongdae every single time, or Itaewon every single time. Like I said, the river is beautiful, and it has so many different spots along the river that is beautiful. It's like Yoido and Banpo and all kind of cool little places. So, if you have a Saturday or Sunday, you really have nothing planned and you can get out, do it, and just explore, walk around, take your time. And don't let the fact that, maybe language might be an issue deter you, because you have access to your phone, you have access to Google Translate. You can easily translate what you're saying and what they're saying, so it really shouldn't be an issue. And on top of that, I would also say consider places other than Seoul. I know that they had snowboarding up in, I want to say it's called Kaiwando. It was very cheap. For like $60, they would pick you up in Seoul, take you up to this resort to go snowboard all day, bring you back to Seoul. And it was like, that's a hell of a deal right there. And I did that a few times. I actually learned to snowboard while here in Korea. And the other way, I visit random cities. Daegu, Daejeon, go down to Jeonju or Yasu or Mokpo or Busan. Busan has beautiful beaches, Haeundae and I want to say Gongali. So yeah, I would definitely say try to get out, explore, and make the most of your time here if you can. Number 3, there's an organization here called K-HAP. So if you're sexually active and you catch something, or you just want to know your status for the sake of the people you're with, you can keep this organization in mind. KHAP, Kilo Hotel Alpha Papa. And what it is, it offers free anonymous STD testing. So you can go in and you can say your name is, I don't know, SpongeBob. Your name is Bruce Wayne, whatever. Go in, you're able to get tested for free, and it's pretty legit, In the Army, there is no such thing as personal business. You go in, you catch something, the medic knows. The medic's going to gossip about it. The whole unit knows. The whole unit's going to gossip about it. Fuck that. You're a grown man, go. I'm not telling anyone to do anything illegal here. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I would rather my personal business be my personal business. So keep the organization in mind. And the number one thing I would say to keep in mind is to watch your drinking, and especially soju. So I understand, especially if you're military, it can be pretty stressful. You're getting in trouble for other people. Maybe you're not appreciated, or people are taking credit for the things you're doing. But really, especially soju, it sneaks up on you. It's kind of like tequila times 10, but it's worse because at least with tequila, it burns in such a way where you're like, okay, this is going to hit me. You're prepared for it. With soju, some of them are actually kind of smooth. A lot of people were drinking the flavored ones, like grapefruit. They really seem to love that. And it seems like, okay, it's no big deal. And then, bam, it hits you and it's game over. I remember I first tried it. Me and the guys were in the barracks playing some stupid drinking game. If the next card's bigger than the card you have to drink. What the hell? So, okay, we played our stupid game, then we went to the bill. So here we are in this random ass juicy girl bar. Not talking to the juicy girls, we're just playing pool. But then that damn soju hit, and it was game over. I blink, and one of my dudes is gone. I blink, another dude is gone. And by the time I finally could come to, it's just me. Now, keep in mind, there's curfew at this time. So I'm like, oh, shit. If it's 1 a.m., 2 a.m., it's game over. Luckily, no. I woke up at, I want to say, 11-something, almost 12. It's just me and an entire harem of juicy girls chilling at this bar. So I get out of there, and then I go out. I can't even find everyone else. A couple of dudes are just in the street, just chilling out. The other guys are missing. I'm like, what are you doing? It's almost 12. Let's get back to base. No, man, we got time. No need to rush. No, I took myself back to base. I am not trying to risk an Article 15, because here's the thing. If you wait till 12:50 to just party the most you can and run back on base, guess what? Everyone else has that same damn plan. So you're going to be there standing in line sweating, while the people ahead of you are also drunk. They can't find their ID. They need time to show their ID. Is it in their pocket? Is it in their wallet? And you're not going to get in that gate on time. So yeah, I would just say really be careful, and be careful with who you drink. Make sure you got some good dudes with you. Like I said, all the people I partied with abandoned me. They were just straight up gone. So yeah, just really be careful. I'd recommend drink under your limit. Yeah, but I'm a hypocrite because I definitely party hard. Anyways, those are 10 things I would say that I learned while being stationed in Korea.
Feel free to share your Korea story, whether you were stationed there or just traveled there. Feel free to leave a comment down below.